Yeah, welcome to the show. Tonight we're previewing WWE Hell in a Cell. We're talking about that MJF promo on Wednesday night. CM Punk's got a big announcement coming up here on AEW Rampage. We just watched SmackDown. Johnny North is in the house. Let's get this thing started. Oh, my goodness. Johnny.
How's it going, Dave?
So much happening. I'm well. How are you, buddy?
Not bad. Just watching Lucha Brothers Young Bucks right now. You know, it's kind of refreshing watching this match. I felt like it was overdone when AEW started. But when you haven't seen it in a while, it's like, I kind of understand why they overdid this match, because it's pretty good when you haven't seen it like 5 times over.
Yeah, they're two of the best tag teams in the world, for sure. The Young Bucks and the Lucha Bros. They're doing battle right now on AEW Rampage. It is live. It is in Ontario, California, very close to the hometown of the Young Bucks. The Young Bucks are the hometown team. They're getting the love from the hometown crowd. They got the Hardys watching ringside. Is there a point to this match? Is there a reason why they're having this match, the Bucks and the Lucha Brothers, or it's just it's Rampage, they're in the Bucks' hometown, and why not? There's no specific title shot or anything on the line here. It's just a match.
I think the tag champs were also at ringside. I think the Bucks said on Dynamite something about how like they want to get back into like the top 5 or something. I guess with the win here, I guess I would pull that off. So I mean, they beat the tag champs on Dynamite, so this would obviously, I think, put them up there.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you, Rolando, for renewing your membership. Appreciate you, Rolando. Oh, that reminds me. Rolando had like a cool Ric Flair figure he was going to give me that I never got. AJ was supposed to get it from Rolando. Never got it, so hopefully Rolando tracks it down and gives it to me, because you know me, I love toys. Wrestling toys specifically. John, you have a wrestling figure? There's no Johnny North figure. We need to make one. It has to happen. I need one.
That'd be sweet. I know I have a Jericho figure somewhere. I don't remember where I kept it. I think you already have the Jericho figure, though, if I'm not mistaken.
Which one? I have a few.
It's like 2000 Jericho.
I don't know if I have that one, but I might. I don't know.
I think you do. Pretty sure you do.
All right. Well,
I mean, you have almost everything.
I just saw a super chat drop, but I think that was from the show on Thursday. That was a weird YouTube glitch there. You see that? That was like Jason Pete dropping a super chat. But I'm pretty sure that was from last night. I don't know. Drop a super chat if you want to support the Ringside Report Network. We appreciate you, like the members that we see renewing. Doug Hepburn in the chat. What's up, Doug? He says we're not friends for the next 3 days because his Tigers are taking on the Yankees. Yeah, how's that going for you tonight, Doug? Last I checked, it was a 12-0 Yankees in the 5th.
You guys are definitely not friends now.
Whoa. Had to do it.
What, did you censor something or what?
No, I don't know what that was, actually. I heard that beep. It came from my laptop in front of me. I don't know why. Sorry, John. Yeah, it was 12-0 last I checked. Let me just give a double check on the baseball score for Doug. Make sure the Yankees are still in the lead. Jeff Hardy here, ringside for AEW. The Hardys watching this match. The Bucks and the Lucha Brothers right now in the ring. You would figure that either the Bucks or the Hardys would be the next tag team champions in AEW at this point. I thought maybe FTR, but it doesn't look like they're going in that direction. I wouldn't mind seeing the Hardys get another run. Bucks and the Hardys had my favorite match at the pay-per-view on Sunday. 13-0 final. Thank you, Doug. Yankees 13, Tigers 0. Aaron Judge hitting his 20th home run of the season already, which is insane. Garrett Cole improving to 5-1 on the year. Yankees improving to 37-15. Not too bad. Not too bad. That's a good super chat, Doug. I'll modify my Bo Dallas figure to look like Johnny North. It's pretty close. I think if you got a Bo Dallas figure, you could just say it's Johnny North. I mean, no offense, John. I don't know if you take offense to that, but I'm just saying, in action figure form, you guys could have a similar look. You don't really look like him, but I could see an action figure of Bo Dallas looking like an action figure of you.
Well, just because they over-exaggerate his physique, I think they can figure. Like, his physique was actually really pathetic looking, if you remember near the end of his run. So, like, that's a bit of an insult. Face-wise, yeah, I could see it, but
yeah,
just the way his shape was disgusting.
Yeah.
And that's me being generous, too.
Maybe disgusting for you, John. I mean, the rest of us who aren't bodybuilders, I mean, he looked, kind of normal. He looked all right. Looked fine. For a wrestler, maybe not, but take it easy, John. We're not all jacked.
Well, you also,
I'm not
taking into consideration, he has all the benefits of the WWE Performance Center, and that's your physique. Like, that's
True
pretty
enough.
shameful.
When you are paid to work out professionally, you would expect them to be a little bit better off. But hey, I mean, I had people telling me Eddie Kingston should be the AEW World Champion this week, so I guess physique doesn't matter at all. Who cares?
I think it depends on the wrestler sometimes. I mean, that kind of attitude that he's the everyday guy. Bo Dallas was not that kind of guy.
That Bo Leaf gimmick was good, though. You think Eddie Kingston should become... Traction. You think Eddie Kingston should be a AEW World Champion? I do not.
I think if it's built properly, yeah, but the way it is right now, I don't see it. But I mean, potentially it's there because he's over enough they could go, but they need to push it in a better direction. Right now, it's not great. It's just like he can play in the main event, but he's not going to be the main event guy.
I don't think he is over enough, and I think that he just looks so minor league that if they made him their world champion, it would make their company look more minor league. People already see them as the B company. If they had a B-looking champion, I think it would make them look even more minors. I think it's tough for AEW to get away with a guy like that as a world champion. TNT champion, it would be fine, but AEW right now has to have world champions that you could respect, that you can look at and say, yeah, that's a world champion. CM Punk is a world champion. Say what you want about Hangman losing the belt or whatever. I thought it was maybe premature. At this point, I was saying, Hangman should be the champion. Hangman I was saying he should drop the title, right? For a while, I was saying, he should drop the title to Punk. But the past 2 or 3 weeks leading into the CM Punk build, when Punk really said nothing and Hangman was cutting those promos, I was starting to get on the Hangman as a world champion train. I was starting to believe him as a world champion. Just when I was starting to turn the corner and look at him as, this guy's a legit world champion. If he beats Punk, he's going to be a real top guy here in wrestling. They pull the rug out from under him, and then, who knows where he is now. I just think that they were on the cusp of making Hangman a megastar, and they just decided, maybe not. Well, I didn't love it.
I think they tried with Hangman. It didn't work to the level that I think they wanted it to work. Like, not that he had bad matches, but I don't think people saw it as him having the main event matches all the time. Like, you couldn't put him against Adam Cole, and people would believe that's the main event, even though it was. So I think that was the problem. But you put CM Punk against Adam Cole, and people will buy it because it's CM Punk.
Yeah. It's also a legit main event. CM Punk apparently set to make a major announcement tonight regarding the world title. CM Punk tweeting out earlier tonight. Let me get you the exact tweet here so I don't misquote the main man. This is set to go down here tonight, John. I'll be on AEW Rampage tonight with an important announcement in regards to the AEW World Championship and my career. Please tune in at 9 p.m., 10 p.m. Eastern. Well, I'm tuning in, Punk. I'm waiting to see what you're going to say. Announcement regards to the AEW World Championship and my career. Doesn't sound good, right? Doesn't sound like a positive announcement. Sounds like an injury. Sounds like vacating the championship. That's what it sounds like. I don't know if that's what it is, but from the tweet, it doesn't sound positive. So we are waiting and watching AEW Rampage right now for that very reason, to see what Phil Brooks is going to say. I mean, the Bucks just beat the Lucha Brothers. The match was all right. But that's not why I'm tuning in tonight. I'm tuning in to see what CM Punk is going to say. And when CM Punk starts talking, I'll take one of these headphones off and I'll listen in and try and give you the highlights of what Punk is saying. What do you think? You want to take a wild guess at what he's going to say?
Well, I think that's a fair guess. I mean, we've seen tweets like this before in the past, and that makes a lot of sense what you said. However, possibly because of what we just saw in Dynamite, we saw Tanahashi come out, right? And they didn't make that official, so maybe he's going to make that match for Forbidden Door, it'll actually be for the title. So maybe that's the big thing.
Is that an announcement about the world title in his career?
Well, the fact that, it's his first championship defense. I mean, it's not, to you and me, that's not that big of a deal, but for some people, that's a big deal.
CM Punk has really opened the forbidden door. And I see our buddy Alex Tarras saying he's signing with the WWE. I don't think so, but Hell in a Cell Sunday night in Chicago. CM Punk going to defend the AEW World Championship for the first time at Hell in a Cell against Cody. I mean, no, but that'd be fun. Let's make wrestling fun again, I really would love the WWE and AEW to work together. I know it's probably never going to happen, but I would love for the WWE to be involved in all this talent sharing. In the Forbidden Door with AEW and New Japan and Impact and all these companies. If WWE got in the mix, it would make WWE more fun. It would make wrestling as a whole more fun. I know they don't want to do it and they would never, co-promote or whatever, but as a fan of wrestling, you can't help but think it would be pretty cool. Like when ECW was like invading WWE back in the early days, It was cool. That kind of stuff is fun. I think that WWE is kind of too stuck up to do it, but man, that would be sweet. Booking it would be impossible, and there'd be a lot of problems, but it would be fun, right? Just the idea of like a super show with all the wrestling companies. It'd be fun.
Well, the problem with that, it's like you have to realize WWE considers AEW competition. Regardless if they say that they aren't competition, they are viewed as competition. So that's not going to happen. ECW wasn't really viewed as competition. If anything, it was almost like a minor league to WWE. That's kind of how they viewed it in a sense. So that's why they were able to do that kind of thing. They were working with Paul Heyman all along in a sense. So that's why that happened. You're not going to get that with AEW. It doesn't seem like they're working whatsoever.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree with you, John. I think you're right. But, as a fan, don't you think the wrestling business would be more interesting and like the mainstream world would get more invested in professional wrestling if all of a sudden all the wrestling companies were working together? Like if pro wrestling was just one entity, I think people that don't watch pro wrestling might be like, yo, what the hell is this? What's going on in wrestling these days? I think it'd be fun. I think it would create a big buzz. I think it would be good for the WWE. As much, it might be good for AEW too, and that's why WWE wouldn't want to do it, right? But, can't we all just get along? Can't we just, have fun for the fans? Because it's not like the wrestling business is on fire right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, they're going to top out a million viewers per show if they're lucky, whatever. It's like kind of weak, if they all worked together and were going on each other's shows and you didn't know who was what and what was what, it'd be like, God damn, I bet you that the ratings would go way up on all the shows. I'd bet you anything. They're not going to do it. I'm not saying they're going to do it. I'm just saying, in theory, I think it would be really cool.
Yeah, we've seen in practice it was actually terrible in the long run when WWE consumed everything. I mean, it was okay for a couple of months, and then eventually it became nostalgia, and that only lasts for so long. And then WWE became some of the worst wrestling we've seen in a long time, because as a monopoly, like it's not fun to watch. It actually needs competition. It's better when there's actually something else that pushes WWE to be better. So I'm actually happy that they're being pushed right now. And I'd rather they not mention AEW. I really didn't like Seth Rollins mentioning that stuff. Like, that's kind of minor league stuff for him to do that. And I thought that was kind of insulting for WWE to do something like that.
Seth Rollins talked about Cody Rhodes on Raw this week, cut a promo on Raw about Cody. Mentioned
Team Taz won so quick. I barely even noticed the match.
Did they win?
They did, but I didn't even notice the opponents. They just went so quick.
Yeah, Ricky Starks and Will Hobbs won a match real quick. I don't know.
Yeah.
Do you care? I don't know.
Well, I wondered who the opponents were, but I couldn't pay attention enough to notice that, and it was over.
Oh, we got Athena's debut here.
Go on.
She's got a cool jacket. Did you see her jacket? She's got like spikes on the end of her jacket, like Shredder. It's a cool jacket, but it's still Ember Moon so far, so we'll see. Yeah, the Cody and Seth promo. Like, you say you didn't like it. John, are you frozen? Did Johnny just freeze out on me? Uh-oh. John! Johnny North! Oh, man. Did I just lose John? Shit. I thought he was there. He just froze out. We'll get him back. I hope. God. Goddamn, pal. Johnny's internet just crashed. I like frozen John. I'll just leave him here frozen until he comes back. Doesn't make me feel alone. It's a little creepy, but... Can we get him back? Where's John? Well, this is weird. I was in the middle of talking about Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins. We'll get John back, I hope. I really don't know unless something crashed out with Johnny. I'll try and contact him. Let me... We'll get John back, I promise. I hope, anyways. I'm going to text him. Let's text Johnny. Johnny! Johnny! Come back! All right, well, I texted him, and that's all I can do here, baby. What am I supposed to do? God damn, he's like still gone. I expected him to just kind of freeze out and then come right back. Maybe you lost power. Maybe you lost internet. I don't know what's happening. Hopefully I get Johnny back. I'm thrown off when I don't have my man here to talk to. Alex Tara says we need Johnny. We do need Johnny. I need Johnny in my life. Where's Johnny? I look forward to Friday nights. I get to talk to Johnny about wrestling. I lose my Johnny. All right, I was talking about the Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins promo, and I can keep talking about that. Oh, his internet is dead. He says talking about Seth Rollins killed his internet. Are you coming back? That's what I'm texting him. Hopefully he does. I mean, you know, I think he will. I don't think he won't, but yeah. Hopefully we get Johnny back. I'm waiting for Johnny. So when Johnny comes back, we'll get Johnny back. But the Seth Rollins promo, Seth mentioned some stuff that Cody Rhodes had done in AEW. His internet is still dead, so okay, hopefully we'll get him back soon. Or maybe not, I don't know. So Seth made mention of Cody's past in AEW, alluding to breaking the throne and then coming back and taking things from Cody and not letting him do that. And John thought it was beneath Seth to do that, to address AEW. I don't think so. I think that this was the thing on Raw that got the most buzz out of anything on the show. Raw this week was pretty flat, and Seth talking about Cody, mentioning AEW, mentioning the throne, is the only thing really that got any kind of buzz from Raw this week. So I had no problem with it. I actually enjoyed it. I thought it was pretty good. Because you can't ignore the fact that that Cody Rhodes has been in AEW. Like, you can't ignore that. Everybody knows that. He comes back. He's got this new gimmick. He's got this new theme song. Where did this come from? Where have you been, Cody? Everybody knows he's been in AEW. So to ignore that and to try to pretend that he's just disappeared for the past few years, I think is a little dumb. So I think it's a good move to address it on Raw. I think it works. I think it helps the show. I think it helps the Seth Cody angle, which at this point is pretty stale because this is the third match going into Sunday between the two of them, third straight pay-per-view between the two of them. You needed to spice it up. You needed to make it a little bit more interesting, and Seth's promo this week made it a little bit more interesting. This is not the most exciting story anymore. It's got a little bit stale. I swear the chat is working against me, too. So John's internet is frozen. Doug Hepburn dropping a super chat, which does help me. He says, sorry about the Bo Dallas insult, John comeback. He will be back if his internet regains its composure. I've texted him. He has text ability. His internet is dead. And I told him to come back when he can, and I don't know. But then now I'm seeing Alex Taris going, we need Johnny. We need. Like, I'm not trying to, like, nobody tell that to Johnny's internet. You know what I mean? I'm not stopping Johnny from being on the show. I also want Johnny on the show. Doug Hepburn saying, free Johnny. You guys acting like I'm doing something here. I have nothing to do with Johnny not on the show. I'd prefer Johnny be on the show because then I wouldn't have to do this show by myself right now. Trying to watch Ember Moon and Kiera Hogan on Rampage, guys. I need Johnny to fill the gaps while I watch this wrestling program. Starting to wonder how I'm going to watch the CM Punk promo and talk to you without Johnny North. Well, hopefully we get Johnny back real soon. Otherwise, it's just going to be me, and the show will be shorter because, I mean, you just hear my thoughts, and you won't get Johnny's, so there'll be less content because there'll be no Johnny content. Which sucks because I want to hear Johnny's thoughts. Harold Schneider saying, last time this happened, you lost internet too. Hope we keep you. Yeah, I think I'll be good. Johnny and I have different internet, I think. And now the production team is like writing a... Is the production team trying to send me a message now too? What is happening? It's hard enough to do this show by myself. I don't know what's going on. What? What's the message? Can he use his cell phone internet? I don't know. All right. Well, I'm trying to get Johnny. Yeah, John can just go to AJ's. AJ doesn't live far from Johnny, right? They actually don't live that close. I mean, they're both in NDG, but they're not that close to each other in NDG. That would be ideal, but I don't think so. So hopefully I get Johnny back here, guys. Otherwise, it's just going to be me, which is not as fun. I recognize that. I mean, it's not bad, right? It's not bad. You don't hate it. You kind of like it. But, you know, you want Johnny. And I want Johnny too. Because it's a lot more difficult for me to do the show here without Johnny. Like, it's easier when I have my man Johnny, because I'd be like, hey, Johnny, what do you think about this? And then he'll tell me what he thinks about it, and I could watch the Wrestling Rampage here. His cell phone is the same as his Wi-Fi. So his internet is down, and that's it. John's texting me at the same time. It's very complicated. I'm trying to coordinate a lot of things and entertain you guys at the same time. All right. Athena, otherwise known as Ember Moon, just picked up a win over Kiera Hogan. Kind of a lengthy match. A little longer than I expected. You guys excited about Ember Moon, now Athena in AEW? Does this move the needle for you? Jade Cargill, with her new manager, Stokely Hathaway, watching the match ringside. Of course, Kiera Hogan, one of the baddies. One of Jade's crew, the baddies. The CM Punk promo is up next. Is this the main event of Rampage? Possibly. Huh.
Go.
Oh, there we go. Thank you. Because I really needed you, John. I didn't want to talk about MJF without you, you know?
That's where we're at now, MJF?
No, I was going to talk about MJF at some point, but I didn't want to bring it up without you. I did talk about the set
last night.
Yeah, I did with Freddie and AJ, but I didn't really break it down. And I want to get your thoughts on MJF as well. I did ask the question, do you think Athena Ember Moon is a big deal in AEW? Does she move the needle? Ray Cruz, member of the team, says she makes the women's division better.
Yeah, I agree.
I appreciate it. I think she's cool. She's all right, but she's not like a needle mover to me. Like, I'm not going to tune into a show because she's on it. I think she's good. She improves the roster. I agree with Ray, but when she showed up in AEW, I wasn't like, oh my God, this is the greatest thing ever, you know? I was more hyped when, like, Toni Storm came in, because I see her as more of a potential megastar in pro wrestling.
Yeah, I see that. I agree with that, but Athena's good, like, in terms of, like, wrestling wise, like, and they need solid workers in the AEW women's division. So, like, with a lot of them, it's like, oh, you're gonna see that match. Like, I don't want to see them wrestle so much, you know. Like, I feel like you get that way with a lot of the women wrestlers. Not with Athena though. If she's wrestling, like, I definitely want to watch it.
I guess you didn't see the Kiera Hogan match because your internet crapped out there.
Yep, Seth Rollins hates me, but that's all right. I'll see the replay.
Well, I'm glad that your internet has come back, John, and you are back on the show. Everybody was very worried that you were not going to come back, getting a lot of comments. But Doug Hepburn has been a member of the team now for 17 months. Thank you, Doug. Almost a year and a half consecutive membership. I really appreciate you guys sticking with us for months and months and months at a time. For years now with Doug. Thank you, Doug. He says Dave still puts butts in the seats. Thank you, Doug. Tried to keep the show moving while my main man, Johnny, dealt with his technical issues. Just not the same without you, Johnny. But I was saying how I thought that the Cody and Seth promo was good this week. I thought that the overall story between these two guys is getting a little bit stale. Seth mentioning AEW made sense to me because you can't ignore what Cody's been doing over the past few years, and it was the only thing on Raw that got any kind of buzz. Like, nothing else happened on Raw. Seth mentioning AEW was the only thing from Raw that was worth a damn. You know what I mean? Like, you may think it's minor league, but it actually made the show interesting, whereas the rest of the show was not.
Well, the main problem with Raw, like it is every week, it's too damn long. Like, I don't know about you. Once I got past the second hour, I'm like, why is this not over yet? Why do I have to watch another hour? And then I had to watch that last hour. I'm like, this is so bad. Like, it's not that overall, it's not the worst show, but that last hour makes it the worst show because it just drags. And I don't even feel like the matches were that bad, but I'm like, this is just too long. Like, please end this. Put me out of my misery here. Like the main event, and no offense to Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley, but that was the main event. I was almost really just sick of watching Raw. It felt way too long. It felt longer than 3 hours, and it's only 3 hours. So too much. Maybe you're right. That may have been the most exciting thing that happened, but I thought we started off with some two good matches. The six man was really good. I thought Asuka and Bianca, that was a good opening match.
Yeah.
And then everything else just kind of was like the usual Raw, and it's like, well, this is not so good. And then that Cody promo happened, and I wasn't a big fan of that. I didn't think that was necessary. It doesn't add anything to the story really, because they're not going to mention it whatsoever. It doesn't really exist. It happened in that moment. That's it, and it's be erased from WWE history. So it doesn't really do much. But we saw it, sure. Like I wasn't big on that. And I don't know why people thought that brawl was so awesome. That brawl to me looked awful. Like Seth Rollins can't throw punches for some reason in a brawl. Like Cody coming back was kind of cool, but I mean, it's just a brawl. It's not the greatest thing in the world.
The only thing that came out of that brawl was like, oh, I didn't know Curtis Axel worked backstage in WWE now.
That was nice. Oh yeah, Punk's talking, by the way. Yeah, like
Oh, yeah. Punk's talking, and he's got tears in his eyes, the belt around his waist. It doesn't look good.
that doesn't sound good.
He's crying. He's crying right now.
Gonna leave the belt in the ring.
Looks like it. Looks like he's injured because he says, I was going to ride hard until the wheels fell off, and it looks like the wheels are falling off. I don't know what's happening. But it looks like CM Punk, what are we, 5 days removed from winning the world championship? Looks like he's about to give it up or something. I don't know. 43 years old,
Wow.
CM Punk. He's got tears in his eyes. He's making an announcement. He's injured and he needs surgery.
Wow. That's a huge kick in the nether regions. That's really too bad for his comeback.
What's
Like, he's
broken?
having
What
such a great
needs
comeback.
surgery? He seems to be walking all right.
Well, I don't know. Maybe it wasn't, the springboard. Maybe that was part of the reason why the springboard was kind of messed up on Dynamite because he has a bad foot, possibly.
What's broken?
That's really
He's got something broken.
doesn't say what though.
I don't know. I think he did. I just missed it. He's injured. He wants to wrestle, but he can't because he's hurt. He's gonna need surgery, and it looks like he's about to drop the belt. This is crazy. 5 days removed.
That's really too bad. Could have got that match with him and Tanahashi. That would have been fantastic. That's really too bad.
Looks like it's not happening.
Yeah. Well, he'll be back though. Like, I mean, it's a bump in the road for him, but like, I'm sure he'll come back.
I don't know if he's given up the title. He's like, I told Tony Khan that I would relinquish the title, but he said this is just a bump in the road, so I don't know if he's going to make him drop the belt or not.
Well, I mean, he doesn't really have to wrestle at Forbidden Door, right?
No, I mean, it's not really a big title match at Forbidden Door because you knew that he was going to not lose to Tanahashi.
Right. It does suck that that match won't happen now because I actually was looking forward to seeing that match.
Yeah, it would have been
That's
cool.
too bad.
Who does Tana work now? It's crazy.
Oh, there's still guys. There's still guys. But so wait, he's not forfeiting the title.
He is. I believe
Oh,
he
he
is.
is.
It looks like he is. I don't know. It's not clear yet.
He didn't leave it in the ring. Usually that's the sign. If you don't leave it in the ring,
I think
you
he's
still hold the
relinquishing
title.
the belt. I think he is giving up the belt. That does seem to be the point, but it wasn't clear because he's like, oh, I was ready to relinquish the belt, but then Tony Khan said it's just a bump in the road and I gotta go, but I'll be back. But he didn't really say that, like, oh, I'm giving up the belt. Huh. Okay. I think he is giving up the belt, but it's not clear.
Could see them wait until like after he gets the surgery and then they find out how long he'll be out for. Maybe that's when they'll decide if they're officially going to give him, like, make him vacate the title possibly.
It seems like he is vacating the belt. It was not clear exactly what the hell. He's vacating the belt. Vacants AEW World Championship. That seems to be the... It's not clear, though.
It's not
because,
clear.
Honestly,
that's fun.
People are not clear. I'm looking online because I'm trying to find out, like, did he say that or did he not say that? Because people are like, hey, he's relinquishing the belt. And then other people are like, no, he's not. Tony said he's not.
Well, because it cuts away. He's still holding the title. He didn't, like, leave it in the ring. Like, that would be the symbolism of that he's vague. But he didn't do that. He held it up. Like, so that means he didn't, right?
Because Tony Khan told him not to.
Like, all I know for certain now is that he's not wrestling at Forbidden Door. That's it.
Yeah.
That's confirmed. That's
I think he's still the AEW World Champion, but I'm not sure.
Right.
I really don't know. What kind of promo was that? Like, it's not that we were kind of talking to each other and doing the show and we missed something. I'm looking online and I see that guy Sean Ross Sapp. He's like, oh, CM Punk has relinquished the belt. All the replies are like, no, he didn't. Tony Khan told him he's not. It's not clear. No one's clear. Nobody knows what the hell's going on.
Well, I'm
AEW
sure
hasn't said officially that he's not the champion anymore.
You'll have to wait for them to officially say.
What in the hell was that? So he's hurt. He needs surgery. He's going to take some time off, but he's still the champion, I think. I thought he was relinquishing the belt, but then he's like, well, Tony Khan said, no, it's just a bump in the road, so this is just a bump in the road. Right, he's not relinquishing the belt. I'm seeing some people online just as confused. Some people are reporting that he is no longer champion, while other people are reporting that he is still the champion because Tony Khan said no. Huh?
Interesting. I wonder if they did that, make it vague so people would be interested in watching the show possibly.
Is this so that MJF could talk about Punk not really being there and taking the title from him in September? Like, MJF could talk about how Tony Khan and CM Punk, you know? screwing him out of the belt and screwing the company and screwing the boys in the back and all that stuff. I mean, is this part of the MJF story? Maybe. I think Punk is really injured, though. I don't think that they would cancel the Tanahashi match if there wasn't a legit injury.
Right.
But is this going to tie into the MJF thing somehow? Because MJF, now we can talk about MJF here because the Punk thing, has come and gone in a way. MJF cuts this amazing promo on Wednesday night, right? It was the talk of the wrestling world. It was the best thing on Dynamite by far. It was the best thing that we've seen in wrestling all week. After the promo for the live audience, after MJF cuts this scathing promo on Tony Khan saying, "Fire me, Tony," and yelling at the crowd and cursing Tony out, CM Punk came out and ran MJF out of the arena for the live crowd.
We didn't see that on television though.
No, but I saw a fan video of it. When MJF is done talking and they cut to commercial, CM Punk came out, and then MJF ran out of the ring and escaped through the crowd.
Okay.
So
I believe you.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I could send you the video. It's cool. I'm just telling you what happened. I'm telling you and everybody else what happened, John. You see? It's not just for you. It's everybody. There's people watching the show, John. It's not just you and me. So
some people don't watch Dynamite, so it's good for them to know, yeah.
Yeah, I think everybody saw the MJF promo, though, right? I think everybody who's anybody saw that MJF promo. That promo was incredible. It was so good. And, they let him go out and talk. They had an idea of what he was going to say. But it doesn't mean that a lot of the things he said, he didn't really feel. It doesn't mean that there wasn't a lot of reality in what he was saying in that promo. There's got to be a part of him that resents some WWE guys coming in and making more money than him. That's got to be real. Are they still making more money than him? Did he get a raise? Did he get a new contract? I don't know. What I do know is we haven't seen the last of MJF in AEW. AEW pulled his merchandise. They took his face off the roster. If you noticed when they do the updates for, they on their Twitter feed and all their social media, they do updates about every match and every segment. The MJF stuff, they didn't show. The MJF stuff, they're ignoring. Right. They're doing that to make it look real. They're doing a good job of making it look real. Some people are really wondering, is it real? Is it not real? And, of course, everybody's coming out and saying, oh, it's a work, it's a work, it's a work. Everybody wants to be the first to say it's a work so they don't get caught, believing. Nobody wants to be fooled, right? Everybody wants to be the first to say, oh, this is a work, this is a work, this is a work. Even when real things happen in professional wrestling, everybody wants to say it's a work so they don't look stupid, right? That happens all the time. And that's okay, I get it. People want to cover their asses. They don't want to get caught with their pants down. But that doesn't mean that there wasn't a lot of reality to this. I think that this was as real as CM Punk's pipe bomb promo. The first one. There was a lot of reality in what MJF said, but the company was fully aware that he was going to say a lot of those things. I don't know if they were 100% aware of everything MJF was going to say, but I think they had a general idea of what the plan was for that promo. There's no reason to give him a live mic and put him out on TV if they had no clue what he was going to say. And all that stuff over the weekend about MJF no-showing the meet and greet. Well, he would no-show a meet and greet if he was doing this kind of story, wouldn't he? Wouldn't that help play into it? And MJF bought a plane ticket. Did he? Or did AEW buy a plane ticket for MJF and then leak the information to some wrestling media, and the wrestling media bought it because that's what they do, and then they threw it out there, they got worked, and, it helped with the story. Sometimes you can leak things to wrestling journalists, they'll believe it, and it'll work in the favor of your story. Especially if you're trying to do a reality-based story, which they are doing clearly here with MJF. I think there are a lot of elements in this that are real. I think there's a lot of things that MJF said that he really felt. But I do believe this is all going to resolve itself at a big AEW pay-per-view. I don't think MJF just walked out of the company and that's it. I think he'll be back. I think this is a story. But I think it's a damn good story, and there's a lot of meat here, and MJF could really dig in and do some good work, and he's already begun with some incredible work. The fact that he's just 26 years old, is able to hold the crown in the crowd in the palm of his hand like that, is brilliant. It's unbelievable how good he is. And just cutting into the fans, I thought was really good, you know? Aren't you the same fans that were calling me a unprofessional piece of shit, and now you're cheering for me? You know, like, get the hell out of here. And he's right. He's 100% right about so much of what he said. And you know that he really feels that. What baffles me about the fans, you know? The fans' reaction to the whole MJF thing. People are treating him like he's the Ultimate Warrior, you know, holding Vince up for $500,000 before he goes out to do a match. That's not what MJF was doing. MJF wants to be fairly compensated. He didn't hold Tony Khan up for a bunch of money. He didn't no-show a pay-per-view. Everybody that was angry at MJF for wanting to be paid fairly, those same people were supporting Sasha Banks and Naomi for walking out on the company because of creative. Not money. Not the real stuff that actually matters. Money. The shit you have in the bank that supports your life, that will be there for you if you break your neck. The money will still be there. The money and the miles are the only thing that are real in the wrestling business. The creative is fake. You don't win or lose matches. It doesn't matter. If you're getting paid, the creative should not matter if you're making a good paycheck. But everybody supporting Sasha and Naomi, when they walk out of the company over creative, and they're mad at MJF because he wants to be paid fairly. You know what I'm saying, John? How are you going to support people over fake stuff and then get mad at the guy for wanting something real?
Well, I agree. It's totally different situations. People shouldn't really mix and match them together. But, you know, we still don't know the whole story about Sasha and Naomi, so it's really hard to say exactly, like, that was the only reason why. I mean, again, I feel like with that was something that's been building for a while. Like I made mention to you before, like Sasha had unfollowed WWE, Vince, like before Monday Night Raw happened. So something had been going down before, and whatever happened on Raw was the final straw. And with MJF, this has also kind of been building for a while too. We've heard talks about this, that they wanted him to resign. It didn't happen, and he did that interview, and apparently he got in trouble for it. So this is something that's been slowly building as well, and now suddenly, boom, it's a story.
I want to address that interview. The interview he did, he got in trouble. He did an interview with Ariel Helwani, okay, where he talked about his contract expiring in 2024 and wanting a bunch of money from the WWE, among other things that he talked, while all in character, by the way. And MJF, one of the reasons why I love MJF is because he's the only wrestler who doesn't drop the facade when he does these interviews. He stays in character. Every other wrestler drops the character. Every single one, down to a man and a woman. Every single one. I gave the example last night on the show. When Roman Reigns goes on Jimmy Fallon, he's not the tribal chief. He's Joe Anoa'i. They announce him as Roman Reigns. They introduce him as Roman Reigns. But when he sits down, oh, he's Joe and he's a nice guy. And oh, isn't this wrestling stuff silly? This thing that my family has bled and sweat for and cried for and died for. Isn't this all a big joke, Jimmy Fallon? I'll play along with you because I want to be Hollywood, buddy. It's me, Joe Anoa'i. MJF doesn't do that shit. He doesn't drop the act. He's MJF the whole time. So the interview with Helwani, the company was not mad that MJF was in character and talked about making money. That's his character. That's not what Tony Khan was mad about. Tony Khan was mad that MJF did the interview with Ariel Helwani because this guy works for BT Sport, which is where the WWE airs in the UK, and he is a WWE guy. All the wrestlers that ever appear on his show are WWE people. He doesn't get AEW people because he's a WWE-centric guy, and they didn't want their guy, MJF, going on a WWE-type show. It's not a WWE show, per se, but he comes at things from a WWE way, and he's more affiliated with WWE, and AEW didn't want to give him that opportunity of having MJF. Obviously, MJF, whoever, somebody reached out to him, and MJF agreed to do the interview, but he didn't clear it through AEW's press people, and that's why apparently MJF got in trouble. Not because he said he wanted more money, but because he did the interview with a person who's more affiliated with WWE that AEW doesn't seem to want to do business with, which I totally understand because I wouldn't want to either. But that's another story. So I don't think that it was really about the money. I don't think it was ever really about the money, the beginning of the heat. But you and many other people, because the story came out that MJF did an interview where he talked about leaving AEW and going to WWE, and he got in trouble for the interview. But people didn't really dive deep into the story of why he got in trouble. It wasn't because of what he said. It was because of who he did the interview with, and he didn't clear it through AEW and their press people. And the great thing about that was everybody interpreted it as MJF says he's going to go to WWE and Tony Khan got really mad. But I don't think that's what happened. I don't think that's what happened at all. Is there a money issue? Probably. MJF is a guy who came in on an entry-level contract when AEW started, and who he is right now deserves way more than an entry-level contract. He's an incredible performer. He's one of the top guys in the whole wrestling business. He's a multi-million-dollar act. Give him multi-millions of dollars. I agree with that. Apparently, a lot of wrestling fans don't. I don't understand the wrestling fans that don't want to see this kid who's turned himself into a star get paid. They're siding with the billionaire. I don't understand these modern wrestling fans that are just so mad if you say anything negative about Tony Khan, the son of a billionaire who took his daddy's money, who his daddy even said, well, I'll let you waste your inheritance now. That's what he said when he wanted to start AEW. I heard Tony Khan admit to this. He's like, oh, yeah, well, you can waste your inheritance now, I guess. Every wrestling fan is so quick to defend this bug-eyed son of a billionaire and condemn Vince McMahon, the guy who, gave us our childhood. I don't get that. I don't get that at all. Vince has given me way more than Tony Khan ever did. If I wanted somebody to mishandle Bryan Danielson, Vince could have done that for me. Tony Khan really doesn't have to do that. I'm good. I'm good on that. Vince gave me Stone Cold, Bret Hart, and Hulk Hogan. Tony Khan's given me MJF and some ex-WWE guys that I've seen before. I like AEW and all. It's cool, but the wrestling fan today that treats Tony Khan like an utter babyface, and if you go up against him, you are the worst. Yet they treat Vince McMahon like the devil. I don't understand that. I don't get it. I think all promoters are probably, bad in certain ways because they have to be. Because promoters, they're going to be the bad guy to a lot of people, but they're going to be the good guy to a lot of people. But for some reason, every fan, when it's like, oh, Tony Khan didn't do this, when even ex-AEW people are like Joey Janela or Big Swole or whoever say things in the media about Tony Khan, the wrestling fan primarily will attack the wrestler and defend Tony Khan. But when anybody says anything about Vince, it's like, oh, yeah, Vince is the worst, and Vince is this, and Vince is that. and they'll take the side of the wrestler. That I don't really understand. I mean, I guess WWE has kind of positioned Vince as a bad guy, story-wise, and most of the wrestling fans are just total marks. But I don't know. If I had to choose, I'd choose Vince. He's just given me more. He's got a better track record. Just overall. I got more love for Vinnie Mac, right? Anyhow. Pay MJF, Tony Khan.
I can see how you would see that, but I imagine Tony's more hands-on. Like, you can actually talk to Tony Khan, where Vince, like, good luck talking to him ever in your lifetime.
Well, now.
Well, even before he was kind of hard to talk to. Like, try, him doing an interview with Pat McAfee. Like, that was the first interview he did in how many years, Tony does an interview all the time.
Oh, my God. Tony won't shut up. Did you see the press conference after Double or Nothing? Holy shit. Did you hear about it?
Bits and pieces.
Dude. Didn't look good. Tony Khan did not come off well at that press conference. He came off bizarre. Even Tony Khan's supporters were like, is Tony okay? Is Tony on something? What's up with Tony? Why is he so bug-eyed and jittery? What's going on? What's going on? Like, I don't know. Watching Tony Khan deliver that jittery, fast-talking, all over the place, non-sequitur press conference made me wonder about his mental state. I was like, geez, what's happening with this guy? He just seemed a little loopy. Maybe he stays up too much. I don't know what's happening. But he didn't come off well. He didn't come off commanding. He didn't come off like Vince comes off or Dana White comes off. They know how to handle themselves in front of the press. I'm just so used to seeing Dana White come out and deliver these masterful post-fight press conferences. He'll give you a little sizzle. He'll give you a little controversy. He'll keep the president hat on. He'll be affable. He'll give you some info. He won't give you too much, but he'll give you enough to keep it juicy. He's professional. He's got presence, and he's in and out. In and out in 25, 30 minutes. Tony Khan rambled on after Double or Nothing for like 2 hours about fucking tape trading and booking a Fed that hasn't existed. Like, this guy talks about, he's like, I created AEW Rampage in 1998, and I made Dynamite in 1995, and I've been booking this show for that long, and, it just happened to be on TV now. And I'm like, what? What the fuck are you talking about? He's a weird guy. You ever book a Fed that doesn't exist, John? Is this what sons of billionaires do when they don't actually have to worry about $1? I've always wondered, what would I do if I didn't have to worry about, paying the bills and money and feeding the family? What would my life be like if I didn't actually have to work and I had just endless supplies of money? I don't think I'd be drafting fake wrestling feds with my friends and booking a territory that doesn't exist for 30 years. Until finally convincing my dad to let me buy one. I don't think I would do that. But that's what Tony Khan is doing. What the fuck? What a weirdo.
Well, he found success, though, so, long-term planning paying off for him a little bit, so. Like, maybe a better idea is maybe not have such a long pay-per-view. Like, when you do a post-media scrum at 2:30 in the morning,
dude.
I'm not surprised you're kind of jittery-eyed or whatever, just trying to stay awake. I mean, I'm not gonna say too much caffeine or something, but
Maybe.
you gotta do what you can to stay awake.
I'm telling you, like, he was he spent most of that post-show, whatever, conference, defending the length of the pay-per-view. Defending it. Saying, well, some of my favorite WrestleManias are like 4 hours long or 5 hours long, and UFC pay-per-views they start way later than our main event. And I was like, dude, what the hell are you talking about? He's like, well, UFC pay-per-views are like 6 hours long, and I'm like, no, they're not. He's like, with the prelims and everything. It's like, yeah, well, who's watching the prelims, dude? Unless you have money on a prelim fight, yeah, AJ, whatever, sure. And I do it on a Saturday night, But what Tony Khan forgets to mention is that's the only UFC show you see all week. And this is some shit that I keep saying to wrestling promoters. I like to watch the UFC on a Saturday night because it's the only time I get to see the UFC all week. The only MMA I watch in a 7-day cycle is a UFC on a Saturday night. I wish I could say the same about professional wrestling. I get to see wrestling on a Monday night, on a Tuesday night if I wanted to subject myself to NXT, on a Wednesday night when I watch stupid Dynamite. Thursday night, thank God I don't have to watch wrestling, but I probably could somewhere. Maybe when Ring of Honor starts TV, we're all excited for that. And then Friday night, I got SmackDown and Rampage. And hey, forget about it. You got pay-per-views on the weekend, brother. You got wrestling every day of the week. So when it comes to the weekend and the pay-per-views, I'm like, God damn, tap out. Tap, 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 tap. I'm done with the wrestling. I've seen enough this week. Oh, here's 6 more hours. Fuck, dude. Whereas Saturday night rolls around and I go, oh, what am I going to do? Hey, I'll watch some UFC. This is fun. Ooh, knockouts. Oh, cool. Hey, real fighting. This is good. Punches landing. This is fun, And then it's over. And then it's like, oh, do I watch UFC in 2 days? No, I watch it in 7 days. And I'm probably not going to watch 6 hours of it. I'll probably watch like 3. 3 hours of MMA a week compared to how many hours of professional wrestling? And Tony Khan trying to act like, well, it's just the same as the UFC. My God. This guy's like, oh, our pay-per-view. He said our main event started before any UFC main event would start. Bitch, your pay-per-view started at 8 p.m. Eastern time. Do you know what time UFC pay-per-views start? 10 p.m. Eastern time. UFC pay-per-views go from 10 p.m. till maybe 1 a.m. Maybe. Sometimes it's like 12:30 and we're in and out and we're done. If there's 2 title fights, it's happened maybe once or twice where there's been a title fight in the co-main and a title fight in the main, and they both went the distance, and the pay-per-view ended at like 1:30 or 2. And that was crazy. It was like, oh my God, a 4-hour UFC pay-per-view, too long, boo. Right? 4 hours was like, yo, too much, right? And Tony Khan is trying to...
For you.
Huh?
I remember when you guys went through that and on your post show, you guys were like, "This is way too long." Like,
yeah, we were exhausted.
You weren't happy.
Well, no, it was boring too. It was a boring pay-per-view, and I probably lost money, which adds to my disappointment. That's the other thing too. I mean, it's more fun when you could bet on the shit. But yeah, AJ saying they're finishing way earlier now. They are. It's like 12:30 and we're done. They keep it moving. Tony Khan trying to compare his pay-per-views to UFC pay-per-views is a ridiculous comparison. And that's how he was trying to defend the length of these pay-per-views. It was like a 5-hour pay-per-view. Nobody wants to sit through 5 hours of professional wrestling, especially, like I said, when you've seen so much wrestling all week. It's too much. I like ice cream. I don't want to eat it every day. Even once a week is like, all right, take it easy. Although my son, I tell you, I picked him up from preschool today and I knew it. I called it. He's like, Daddy, it's Friday. It's hot outside. Dairy Queen. So I brought him. I had a little blizzard. It was delicious. God, it was good.
No banana splits.
Too much. I can't eat all that. It's huge.
That's why you share it with him. Like,
Nah, he got a little cone. I got a little blizzard, like a tiny blizzard.
ah,
You know what's weird, John? I'm lactose intolerant, right? I've talked about this. Lactose intolerant. I can eat Dairy Queen, though. I can't eat ice cream from other places. Dairy Queen ice cream, no problem. Which really makes me wonder what the hell is in Dairy Queen ice cream. Because I am lactose intolerant. I cannot have it. Like, I have ice cream from any other place, and I'm not feeling good. I have ice cream from Dairy Queen. For some reason, it's fine. What? Like, what is in the Dairy Queen ice cream? You really got to wonder. I don't mind because, hey, it's delicious, and it's the only ice cream I can eat. That doesn't make me feel like death. But also I wonder, like, what's happening with the Dairy Queen ice cream? Hey, Doug went to Dairy Queen today, too. He had a blizzard, Smarty Blizzard. I had it's like Girl Scout cookie, chocolate, mint, Girl Scout cookie, something, blizzard. I had a tiny one. It was very good, though. It's like, it's going to be the death of me, I think. Because I tried. It's like a new blizzard flavor. I've never really been a blizzard man, but something about that mint and the cookie, it's like very good. So when my son says, let's go to Dairy Queen, I was like, I can get one of those mint blizzard things. That was pretty damn good. So I went. But once a week is enough, like the UFC. It's enough. We can't have it every day because then we get fat and gross and we feel sick and it's just overwhelming. I'm telling you. And this wrestling stuff, this is why wrestling fans are so mad. Because we have so much invested in wrestling. You know, when we're spending all day, every day watching wrestling, which you kind of have to keep up with it at this point. I mean, no wonder you take it so personally. This is all we're doing with our lives is watching this shit. So when it's bad, we have a right to rage. They're taking up so much of our time with all this programming. When it sucks, no wonder we're mad. This is our whole life on the line here, you know? It's ridiculous. It's way too much, man. It's way too much. And Tony Khan trying to defend it by comparing it to the UFC is a fucking ridiculous comparison. It just made me even madder at Tony Khan.
he's right about WrestleMania, though. There were a couple of long WrestleManias, and the ones that were good, like I felt the same way. Like I didn't mind them when they were good. When they were long and terrible, then it's like, yeah, this was awful. But there were some good 4 or 5 hour WrestleManias.
But was Double or Nothing in that category? You know, I think it should have. It would have been a better show had they cut a few matches and made it shorter. I think we all would have enjoyed it much more.
But they were going for the late buys because of the basketball game, so we'll see if it pays off.
Well, Tony Khan said it paid off. They made a bunch of money, a few 100,000 more than they would have if the whatever. I don't know. But it's honestly, it was too much for me. If they're making money, fine. You know, whatever. Give it to MJF. Maybe that helps.
2 more this year.
Thank God. I'll tell you something else, John. I am never doing a post show for AEW pay-per-views again. I think that's it. I think that was our last one. I can't do it. I can't do it. With my current life schedule, my family stuff, I can't. You know?
I understand.
It was fine when I had one kid and, you know, my son's mom could take him to school on a Monday morning, right? I didn't have to wake up.
Oh, yeah.
Right? She brought him to school because there was one kid. But now that we have my daughter here too, I take my son to school in the morning.
Yeah.
And I got to wake up real early and going to bed at like, you know, 2, 3 in the morning, and then having to wake up at 6 or 7 if I push it.
Ugh.
It's not fun. It's really not fun. I didn't have the
Not really
energy to go to jiu-jitsu after. I usually drop off my son, and then I go to jiu-jitsu after I drop him off at school. I didn't have the energy for that. I went home and I slept, which sucks.
Right.
You know? I can't have that. So I think, I mean, this is a little inside ringside report here, but I think for the next AEW pay-per-view, I'll probably do a show like Monday morning. You know, I'll watch the pay-per-view Sunday night, get a good night's rest, drop off my son, come home, do the show, maybe play video games while I do the show. It's a work in progress. But I can't do it anymore. I can't do it. It's too late. And I think it's too late for everybody, especially on a Sunday night. Like, if it's on a Saturday night again, like if the next AEW pay-per-view is on a Saturday, I can handle it, but not on a school night. All right? Daddy can't do it.
It won't be on a school night because it'll be the day before Labor Day. So there is that, at least.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe then we'll do it.
Okay, well, never mind then.
Yeah, there'll be no school on Labor Day, right?
The only thing about that is that it's the day right before Clash at the Castle. So we got WWE pay-per-view and then AEW pay-per-view like back-to-back.
Back-to-back nights. But won't
Yeah.
Clash at the Castle be on in the afternoon because it's in Wales?
On a Saturday, sure. Yeah.
Yeah, Saturday afternoon won't be so bad. And then Sunday night, a AEW show. As long as I've got a Labor Day Monday and I don't have to take anybody to school early in the morning and I can sleep a bit, we could do it. But honestly, it was not fun Monday morning. The whole week was like, I was tired the whole week because of this thing. I'm getting old, John. 2 kids. I'm getting old. You know?
Anyone in your position, like, doesn't matter the age, it's tiresome. It's tough. So, you know, you're tough for going through that.
Missing jiu-jitsu on Monday really pissed me off, too. I can't miss jiu-jitsu on Monday. I'm trying to become, you know, the best fighter I can possibly be, and I'm not so good at fighting, so I need all the help I can get.
Got to beat AJ one day.
Oh, AJ's scared of me. AJ doesn't want to come get me.
Well,
AJ
he's doing well teaching kids.
Yeah, he's wrestling with 6-year-olds, you know? Meanwhile, me and Fred are fighting each other on a weekly basis. Me and Fred are going at it. Going bananas. Fighting each other. AJ's scared. AJ doesn't want to fight us. I see AJ in the chat. AJ, you're scared. I know you are. It's okay. We all get old and scared sometimes, AJ. I know you fear me. Brown belt in fear of the white belt. I know you're scared. You don't want to get tapped by a white belt, AJ. It's okay. We all know what would happen. I get it. The ego couldn't take it. Imagine a brown belt getting tapped out by a white belt. What an embarrassment. And it would happen to you, AJ. It would happen to you over and over again. I just like to taunt him so eventually he will kind of roll with me and teach me some things because I think he probably beats me, but yeah. Should we preview Hell in a Cell? What do you think? MJF, what's the next move for MJF? Like, what do you think happens next, John?
Well, I think now you do a kind of thing where whatever he does, it's very unscripted. Like, it's not planned. It's not supposed to happen. Like, this was he was supposed to do a promo, right?
Mm-hmm.
What he said, he wasn't supposed to say kind of thing. Then he left. Now he needs to be more of that renegade kind of character where he's kind of like, he's not with AEW. He's doing his own thing. But you're still going to see him, like, maybe try to invade a show or something. I think you do something like that with him.
So he just kind of shows up and maybe attacks Wardlow at some point? Is it during a Wardlow thing, or does he move on from that?
No. Yeah, you move on from that. You attack something else. Something that represents more AEW. This is the problem. Like, when you're feuding with Tony Khan, who's not really an on-screen character,
yeah,
it's really hard with this. Like, someone's got to represent Tony to go against MJF.
How does that work? Like, who?
Well, they just got to pick somebody.
Jericho? I mean, it doesn't make sense with his current Jericho Appreciation Society. Jericho did tweet something kind of that was, interpreted as anti-MJF earlier today. But I
think
really
something
don't
new
know.
for MJF. A new feud, I think, would be good for him. But wait, this is probably going to take quite a few months for this to develop anyways, because right now we're going into Forbidden Door, right, which is only a couple weeks away, so they might push this MJF thing to the side. Like, it'll be around, but it's not going to be on the pay-per-view, that's for sure.
Well, not a Forbidden Door, I guess, but maybe... What's it called? All Out in September? That's the that's the rumor, right? All Out in September?
Well, it is going to happen in September. Like, I think September, I want to say 4th or 5th or something like that. Is it Jericho's tweet?
Yeah, there's Jericho's tweet. No, but I'm talking about the paper, like MJF's next match in AEW, possibly for the world title, possibly against CM Punk, although now everything's up in the air.
Right.
But that was kind of the rumor that MJF would have his comeback match in September at All Out in some sort of, I don't know, blow off to the feud. That's the overall best guess, I guess, by the wrestling world. Here's Jericho's tweet.
I mean,
sorry. For the record, AEW is the best sports entertainment company I've ever worked for, and Tony Khan is the best boss I've done business with. If certain talents feel they're undercompensated, maybe you're not as good as you think you are. Uh-huh. Go somewhere else. Go elsewhere, please. You'll be begging to come back. Well, maybe, maybe not. Sorry, John, I cut you off.
Well, it's just, we'll wait and see what happens. To me, I think Punk Danielson was the match to make. In terms of like what wrestling fans I think want to see the most, that's the match I think out of AEW. Two guys you can put in the ring against, Punk and Danielson. That's the best match I think.
But we don't know if they have Punk by September. And then if you do that, where's MJF? Where does MJF fit in?
But like I'd have MJF maybe go for the title, but a Full Gear or something. But we'll see how this all unfolds here. Like, everything definitely is up in the air after Punk. We don't even know what's going on with him right now. So, but this does make Dynamite more interesting, where it's like you kind of have to tune in to find out what's going to happen next.
Well, it seems like Punk is still the champion. It was really unclear, but he's still the champion.
For now.
Everybody's confused. They're going to crown an interim champion. Okay, breaking news. They will crown an interim champion. AEW. Yeah, everybody was confused, and Excalibur apparently tried to explain things. There's going to be a battle royal. This is weird. There's going to be a battle royal to start Dynamite on Wednesday. Okay? They haven't said how many people are going to be in the match, but a battle royal to start Dynamite Wednesday. Then the winner of the battle royal will face Jon Moxley in the main event of Dynamite Wednesday. Why
How does that make sense?
I don't know. Why Jon Moxley? I have no idea.
I think maybe the only reason I can think of is probably Jon Moxley is the #1 ranked guy. That's probably why.
Okay. And then the winner of that match, the Moxley versus Battle Royal winner match, will go on to the Forbidden Door pay-per-view to compete for the interim world title.
Against? Okay.
So Punk is still the champion. They're going to crown an interim world champion at Forbidden Door. I think the general opinion is that it'll be against Tanahashi. Because Tanahashi was supposed to wrestle Punk. So I think that's what we're supposed to guess. But they haven't said it at all. It's not clear what's happening. What we do know is there will be a battle royal featuring some number of gentlemen. Maybe women as well. Right. Who knows? Who knows? Because I've heard intergender wrestling is like not a thing anymore, and all people should be wrestling together because genders are non-binary and everything's fluid. It's very confusing. I read a thing today. I think Mike Bailey said something. I'm not really sure what's going on, but I am interested. It's an interesting way.
Yeah, but TBS is not big on the intergender stuff.
Well, that's it. That's it. But they're saying there is no gender. Gender is fluid, and there's no such thing as a man or a woman these days. Everybody's kind of on a spectrum of gender. So to have a man and women division is kind of passé, and we should all just be wrestling in one mishmash of but then you have like giant men hitting small women.
TBS don't like that.
Well, yeah, well that's it. Like I don't really understand how that makes sense or really works, but it's a different world, and I gotta be open to it. Trying to be open to all the ideas, Like if there is no gender, if gender is just a construct, John, you understand?
Right. Yes.
And you could be all sorts of different genders, and it's fluid, and I identify as a cisgendered hetero male. But a lot of people don't, And they identify as all sorts of different genders and non-genders or whatever. So if there's no such thing as a man and no such thing as a woman, why do we have separate divisions? Why aren't they all wrestling each other? Now, I don't know if I agree with that sentiment, but there is a segment of the wrestling world that I have recently become aware of that seems to be pushing for something in that direction, which is interesting. Maybe we can get Mike Bailey on the show to explain what he's talking about. Because he's cutting edge of wrestling, I'm trying to stay cutting edge, John. Like I said, I'm an old man now, and I don't want to, have old man ideas. I'm open to everything. I think I'm a man, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Maybe I'm not a man. Maybe I'm like a dude. Maybe those two are different things. I don't identify as a man. I identify as a dude or a G. I don't know.
Well, but I think you nailed a very important point where it's like...
Did I?
I don't think the TV executives like seeing like when it's a really jacked guy like putting a beating on someone who's really small, and it looks like it's a female. It doesn't look good.
Yeah,
they didn't like it when AEW tried in the past doing it.
Right, and I understand that, and that is a fair point. But if there's no such thing as a woman and no such thing as a man, you know what I mean? Like if we are all people, right? If we're all people, then what is the difference between, say, Kevin Nash lawn darting Rey Mysterio and, say, Omos chokeslamming Charlotte Flair? You know what I'm saying? Like if we're all people and we have giant men beating up smaller men, why not giant men beating up smaller women? If we're all people and gender is just an idea that society is whatever, I don't know. I'm not sure. I can't be here to explain all these things to you because I don't really understand it to myself. But I think the general idea is there is no gender. And if a big man can beat up a small man, why can't a big man or a big woman beat up a small man or a big man beat up a small woman? Because there's no such thing as women and men. I don't know, John. I don't know. Like Sonny Kiss. Some people refer to Sonny Kiss as a man, and then other people refer to say she. Some people say he, but Sonny Kiss is fine with either one. Because I think Sonny Kiss identifies as maybe non-binary. I think.
Right.
I don't even know if that's what Sonny Kiss identifies as. I'm not going to use a pronoun for Sonny Kiss because I'm not sure what Sonny Kiss's preferred pronouns are. It doesn't seem clear. I think Sonny Kiss is okay with either one, which doesn't seem to be the norm with people who are specific about their pronouns. You know what I mean? Like, I'm a dude. If you call me a man or he, I'm fine with that. If you call me she, I'd be a little confused. I'd be like, no, I'm a man. But no one's really making that mistake, you know? But a lot of people that are specific, they're like, they, call me they, or, you know? They're not usually like Sonny Kiss, where it's like, whatever. Call me he, call me she, I don't care. That doesn't happen too often, but that seems to be the case with Sonny Kiss. It's a new world, John. I'm trying to figure it out, okay? I'm trying to be cool to everybody because I support everybody's use of pronouns, everybody's, gender identity. I think it's all cool, and if that's how you want to represent yourself, I think it's great. I think it's fantastic. I just don't fully know all the time, because I'm a cisgendered male. I'm just a regular old dude, kind of old-timey. You know what I mean? I feel like I'm an old-timey guy where it's like, yeah, I'm a guy. I like ladies. You know what I mean? I'm a man. I identify as a man. I've got what you'd call a penis. And I like ladies. I like what you'd call their boobs. You know what I mean? What I'd call a lady. I don't know what you'd call it. I'd call ladies. They tend to have vaginas and boobs. Nice round butts. And sometimes I make children in them. In one of them, anyways. You know what I mean? I'm kind of old-timey.
One.
In one of them so far that I know of. But you know what I mean? Like, I'm old-timey. Well, life is long, brother. I mean, look at Mick Jagger. The guy's having kids. Look at AJ. He's having kids well into his 70s. I'm hoping I don't, but you never know, man. You never know where life might take me.
Digging a hole right now.
Can we talk about Hell in a Cell before I get into more trouble here? I don't know what I'm talking about anymore. What I'm trying to tell you is I'm an old-timey man, an old-timey gentleman, and I don't really know about all these newfangled concepts of gender and sexual identity and all these things, but I'm trying to learn. I'm trying to educate myself. I'm trying my best, and I'm fully an ally, and I fully support each and every one of you. Whatever you want to be, I support it. I think it's fantastic. I think it's gangbusters.
We don't condone any affairs or anything like that. No shenanigans behind the scenes.
I condone shenanigans. I don't know about affairs, but shenanigans. I love me a good shenanigan. Who wins the Battle Royal? Good question, Ray Cruz.
Who's in it?
Adam Cole, Miro, MJF, Darby, Hangman. I don't know. We don't know who's in it. But, he's throwing out some names. Wardlow, Samoa Joe, Bryan Danielson. Shouldn't Hangman be the one? Shouldn't Hangman be the one to be the interim champion at this point? He was the champion. I figure you just throw it back on Hangman, have him beat Moxley, have him go up against Tanahashi, beat Tanahashi, Hangman's the champion again, and then you wait for Punk, you do the rematch. I think it should be Hangman.
That's good. I mean, MJF, obviously, I think a lot of people, that would be the favorite, right? But then that might kind of destroy what you're trying to do with this story. So maybe you don't do that.
Yeah.
Like, to me, it's like, well, if it's not Punk, it should be Danielson. So that's who I would go with.
I wouldn't make Danielson champion for the first time as an interim champion, though. It's kind of cheap.
I mean, it's still a championship. Like,
yeah,
it's nothing to be ashamed of. Like,
I just think Hangman is a better fit right now because he was the champion.
Yeah, that's fine too.
Yeah. Our buddy Anthony McDonough, usually in London, tonight tuning in from Cancun, Mexico on vacation. What's up, Anthony? Thanks for tuning in. Member of the team. Nice. Nice vacation there for Anthony. Must be nice. I need a vacation. I'll tell you. Speaking of Mexico, Thunder Rosa's mad she doesn't get more TV time. You hear that?
You talking about? That match was long with her and Serena.
I was on the pay-per-view, though, wasn't it?
Right, but she wasn't on Dynamite because she was sick, apparently.
Really?
Yeah.
Because the word is Thunder Rosa's upset. There are reports I don't know that Thunder Rosa is mad.
Well, it's been a crappy title reign so far. There's no doubt about that, but I mean, she hasn't helped it with bad promos.
That's it.
I think she's had good matches, but the promos don't back it up, sadly.
I think I see enough of Thunder Rosa on TV.
A decent amount. It's really just the promos that have been dragging her reign, really. The promos were lackluster.
Yeah. And, that's part of wrestling. You got to be able to talk.
When you're champ, especially.
Yeah. I liked your promo from the Jacques Rougeau thing with the mask on. It was really good. I saw that. That was excellent. It was fun.
You know what was really fun about that was, like, it was a lot louder because they edited the sound. Because they had commentary, right? So I'm like, when I heard it, I'm like, wow, it sounds like so much more dead than what it was. Like, I had really good heat. It's like, oh, no, I just have okay heat. But I get it because, like, they had to edit for the sound. But that was fun. That was a lot of fun just to go out there and just walk out and just get booed like that. I'm like, oh, that's fun. You know, you're doing your job when you don't have to really do anything.
It felt like it was a real promo too. I know how down with the masks you are, like you're mask man, and a lot of your Twitter and Instagram is about the mask, and then you come out and you cut a promo in the mask talking about everybody, not wearing a mask and jeopardizing your health. I thought that was fantastic because it felt like you talking. It was great, but angry.
Right. Well, the thing is, I had to really speak loud because I'm wearing the mask, right?
Yeah.
So for everyone to hear it as well, so. There was that concern.
Well,
plus I have like a time limit too with that as well. Like, so they're kind of rushing me. But I'm just gonna cut this promo. Like, if I'm getting the heat, it's fine. If it's too long, oh well.
Yeah. No, it was great. It was a fun little match too. Go check it out if you haven't seen it on Johnny North's Twitter page at North Genesis. There's a link to it there. I retweeted it as well. You can check out a Johnny North match. Hell in a Cell.
It actually happens.
Yeah, you wrestle, and you can see it all the time. Hell in a Cell coming up on Sunday. We'll be on after Hell in a Cell. This should be a shorter pay-per-view than AEW's, thank God.
Well, we have 7, 8 matches now, right? This might be a bit longer now.
7 so far.
Okay, good.
All right, let's start at the Hell in a Cell preview here. We've gone long enough. Let's go. Cody Rhodes versus Seth Freakin in the Hell in a Cell. Cody has won both matches in this series. Does Seth get one? Or does Cody go 3-0?
I say 3-0. This is more than likely the main event. I mean, you can't end it with, like, Seth winning. That's kind of a downer than the pay-per-view. And if you're building Cody for the championship, which it more than likely seems like it, Cody's got to win this one.
Are they building Cody for the championship? Because Drew McIntyre tonight came out and said, I'm going to wrestle Roman Reigns at the Clash at the Castle, and I'm going to take the title from him. And I was like, yeah? Little early to announce that, isn't it?
He didn't say Roman Reigns. He said to wrestle for the Undisputed Championship.
Okay.
He didn't say Roman Reigns, though.
He didn't? I thought he did.
No. He said he just said the Undisputed Championship.
Well, who else could it be?
Well, after SummerSlam, maybe it's Cody.
You think Cody gets a shot at Roman at SummerSlam?
I wouldn't be surprised.
Oh, God, no. You know how I feel. Keep the title on Roman until he beats The Rock at WrestleMania, and after that, you take the title off of him. I would not have him drop it now, but hey. Wrestling promoters don't do what I want them to do. So, It's possible. But Drew versus Cody at Clash at the Castle, does that even make sense? There's no heel there.
Well, I'm not saying Cody's going to win, but I wouldn't be surprised Cody gets the shot.
I think it'd be too early to give Cody the shot and not win. The whole reason he came to the WWE is to be champion. That's all he talks about. He's going to get a shot after 3 matches on pay-per-view, after about 3 months in the company, 4 months maybe. Gets a shot, loses to Roman, and that's it.
Well, I see him beating Seth. I see him winning Money in the Bank. I see him saying he'll announce he's going to cash in at SummerSlam. I see a Dusty finish at SummerSlam, so he wins but doesn't win, much like what happened to Dusty with the title. And
yeah,
he'll fight again. Maybe he'll win the second time, but that's how I'm seeing it right now.
Cody and Roman at SummerSlam. I could see it. I thought it was going to be Roman and Randy.
Why not do that Money in the Bank if you're going to do that?
I don't know. I've heard they're not going to have Roman at Money in the Bank because they downgraded from the stadium to the MGM. So no
It's
Roman.
not a big pay-per-view anymore?
That's right. Pay-per-view doesn't matter anymore. No Roman.
Wow. That makes sense too, though. Give it to Randy at SummerSlam. The shot, anyways. Like, yeah.
Because word is the plan was Riddle at Money in the Bank, Randy at SummerSlam, Drew at the Clash. But
right, okay.
If you're skipping Riddle, you could just go straight to Randy. I don't think Randy's actually hurt. I think Randy's just taking time off, right? The injury is not a real injury.
They keep talking about it too much for it to be real,
it's a work.
I think.
It's a work injury. It's not real. He's just taking a break.
And it's weird because...
Yeah?
Sorry, but like every time they show it, it's like, oh, you see Riddle go through the table, and Randy's so seriously hurt. What the heck happened to Randy? He didn't go through the table. Like, so stupid the way they show it.
Yeah. I think Randy comes back at some point, and it's probably Randy and Roman at SummerSlam. That's what I would do. I would wait for Cody. I would not put Cody up against Roman anytime soon. But I would have Cody go over Seth Freakin'. I'd keep Cody strong. I'd keep him winning. I think Cody beats Seth Freakin' in the Hell in a Cell match. This will probably be match of the night. The rest of the card is not great.
Right. That kind of helps.
All right. Bianca Belair defending the Raw Women's Championship against Asuka and Becky Lynch. This could be good. I didn't love Bianca beating Asuka on Raw this week.
Why not?
Like, why beat her going into the pay-per-view?
She's a champ. Gotta keep the champ strong.
But I feel like she's going to defend the title here in this match. I don't think she walks away without the belt. So why double beat Asuka? Asuka probably takes the fall, too, here. I doubt Becky does. Why crush Asuka like this? Why beat her in a non-title match on Raw and then beat her again on pay-per-view?
Well, she beat Becky like the first time Becky's taken a loss since WrestleMania. First time she's taken a loss on Raw in like how many years? Like that was a pretty big win for her. So because of that, now she has to take some losses. Because right now it's Belair's time.
She beat Becky, but then she lost to Becky the following week.
Yeah, well, I don't book things like that. That's a stupid idea. It shouldn't have happened, but that's what happened.
But that's what I'm saying. Asuka has been on Raw for, 3 weeks? And she's lost 2 of the 3 weeks that she's been on the show? And now she's going into a title match? The only match that she won was to earn a title shot? Then the next week, she lost a match to Becky, so Becky gets in the title match. And then Asuka wrestles Bianca for no reason, loses, and then what? She wrestles Bianca again and loses in a triple threat? Just sucks for Asuka. She's been gone for so long, she comes back and she's jobbing.
mean, you gotta stop complaining about the whole like, oh, if she loses too much, because then you're gonna get these stupid DQs and like how main event one week they win and the
Yeah.
next week they'll lose, like we saw on SmackDown tonight. So you don't want that 50-50 garbage. Like I'd rather this, to be honest. Like just clearly they're going with Bianca as the champion, and she's gonna beat everybody right now.
That's not the worst thing. Keeping Bianca strong. The 50-50 garbage, you're talking about the Usos against Riddle and Nakamura. The Usos lost disqualification on Raw. So Riddle and Nakamura won on Raw by DQ, and then they lose tonight in the main event for the titles when the titles are on the line. Of course, Riddle and Nakamura, this makeshift tag team, wasn't going to beat the Usos. Main event of Raw tonight. Roman Reigns' music hits, distracts Riddle or Nakamura, one of them. And Riddle, right? And then the Usos hit their finish, and then they retain the title. The best part about that was it was Sami Zayn in the truck playing Roman Reigns' music to cause a distraction. So you see Sami Zayn like all happy that he caused the win for the Usos. Roman Reigns not on SmackDown. SmackDown is an inferior show without the Tribal Chief. I can't believe I'm saying it, but it really makes the show better when he's on it. Like, significantly. It feels like the WWE doesn't try very hard when they don't have Roman on the show. It is a weak television program. Tonight's show was very bad. Very bad. The Usos against Riddle and Nakamura was not a great main event. Maybe the best match on the card, which says a lot.
I guess we'll answer this question from Matthew that's on the chat right there. You want to know where to buy tickets? I don't know if you saw the question right there that Matthew asked. You want to know where to buy tickets for the Boot Academy?
Contact Jeremy Prophet, right?
Exactly. Because you cannot, general admission, it does not apply to this.
Yeah. You got contact Jeremy Prophet on Twitter or Facebook. If you contact him or Instagram. Jeremy Prophet on Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram. If you contact him and you tell him you want tickets, he will sell them to you. You got to go through the talent. And Jeremy Prophet, I know, has tickets for sale. So contact my man, Jeremy Prophet, if you want tickets there, Matthew, for that show.
But don't expect I'll be on it. I did my one show, and I don't know if I'll be on any other shows. So.
Right. So the Usos retain the titles tonight in the main event. No Roman. Not great. Usos won't be on the pay-per-view. Happy Corbin and Madcap Moss will be on the pay-per-view, though.
No holds barred.
Madcap Moss showed up. Again, I hate when WWE does this, and I feel like it's not the first time. Madcap Moss, last time we saw him, he was stretchered out, right? He got beat down, right? And he got stretchered out and put in an ambulance. He's injured. He got hurt.
Yep.
So now he comes back to SmackDown like 2 weeks later, and he gets a ride to the arena in an ambulance.
Like that's to the Fiend, didn't it?
Maybe Ryback too. Was it the Fiend?
Maybe.
Or Braun Strowman?
That was the Fiend. Possibly that too. Roman.
It's just ridiculous. I don't think the WWE understands how ambulances work. Just because you get hurt and you go to the hospital in the ambulance doesn't mean like when you want to go back somewhere, especially an arena in a different city, the ambulance doesn't just drive you back. It's not a taxi service.
Especially in COVID times, like.
Yeah. What the hell is he doing coming back in an ambulance? Well, the last time you saw me, I was in an ambulance, so here I am emerging from an ambulance. They drove me back to the arena in a different city. Isn't that amazing? And look, I have new gear on. Anyways, Corbin and Moss talked to each other with a promo, and then they had a match that ended when Madcap used a chair and lost by disqualification to Corbin. And then he continued to attack with the chair, and refs and people came out to stop him. And now we have another match on the pay-per-view. Moss Corbin, no holds barred. Smoke break. Forget about it. Who wants to watch this? I can't believe that these guys still exist on TV. They're terrible. Both of them.
Well, it's a new start for Madcap, so I'd give him a chance to see what he can do. What he can do in this kind of environment, too. We haven't seen him in like an extreme kind of environment, so give him a chance. But I think he's going to win this match. I don't think there's any question about that.
Yeah, probably. But who cares? Sucks. What a garbage feud has been going on for like months now.
The only SmackDown match on the pay-per-view.
Really? What the hell is that about?
I thought it was gonna be a Raw pay-per-view at first.
Man, shows you SmackDown is really bad, right? Like, there's nothing on SmackDown. They have nothing. Wow. Only SmackDown match on the pay-per-view, and it's Moss and Corbin. Ouch. Yeah, I think it's going to suck. Sheamus and friends beat New Day and Drew McIntyre tonight when Butch got the pin on Xavier Woods. They're still doing that. I feel like I've seen this match a million times. New Day versus a combination of Sheamus, Ridge Holland, and Butch. Another feud I don't need to see anymore. Stop reminding me that Ridge Holland broke Big E's neck. Like, damn. It's just a bummer.
This was the main event last week.
Yeah.
They just repeated this. It never ends.
Never.
The Groundhog Day feud that never ends.
It never ends. Natalya beat Shotzi, Shayna Baszler, Raquel Rodriguez, Aaliyah, and Xia Li in a six-pack challenge to earn a title shot at Ronda Rousey at some point in the future. They didn't say it was going to be at Hell in a Cell. They didn't say when it was going to be. They just said at some point down the road. So Natty is now the number one contender. This match was horrible. Shotzi went... I mean, come on. Shotzi goes for the crossbody off the top. Raquel's supposed to catch her. She drops her.
No, she bombed, didn't she? Like she fell.
It was so bad. It was so ugly. Shayna went to do her slam thing on Aaliyah. Aaliyah took it so wrong, got dumped on her head. Did you see that? I watched that like 5 times over. That was the best part of SmackDown.
5 times.
Seeing Aaliyah getting dumped on her head was the highlight of the night. It was the best thing I saw in the show tonight. Not having any clue. And again, you can't teach just anybody how to be a wrestler. You have to have some sort of athletic ability. They've had Aaliyah in their developmental system for years. And she's still terrible. Just because you're trained to be a wrestler and you try real hard doesn't mean it's ever gonna work. She's not very athletic. And she can't take a bump for shit. What a terrible match. Raquel hit her powerbomb on Shotzi, which was pretty rough. And then Shayna grabbed Raquel in a choke, and Natty climbs on top of Shotzi. 1, 2, 3. Natty steals the win. Terrible match. Good for Natty, but goddamn. Every time I see Aaliyah, I wonder how she has a job in the WWE. Because she cannot wrestle. And she's dangerous to herself and probably others. Although, I don't think she has enough strength in her body to be really that dangerous to others. But she's definitely a danger to herself. Clearly a danger to herself. She could have broken her neck tonight, easily.
Well, I'm not sure if this is the case, but maybe this is a reason why you don't see her wrestle more often. Because this has happened in the past, possibly, where there's just been some blatant mistakes, and they try to eliminate that by not showcasing her whatsoever. By the way, Xia Li was in the match. I don't know if you noticed or not, but
I
she
did.
wasn't there for bits and pieces.
Yeah. She's like
She actually did stuff.
reemerged. It's very rare. It's very rare you see Xia Li. I don't know what the hell. She looks a little bigger. She look bigger to you?
A little bit, not too much, but yeah. Maybe it was the gear. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't know. She just looked like... She seemed like really skinny when she started, but now she looks like she's put on a little mass. I'm not saying she's like, fat. I just say she looks, maybe more muscular or something. She looks good. Just like a different size than I remember her.
One question, though, like, when Rodriguez, I think slammed Shotzi on Natty,
yeah,
that was clearly a pin, but the referee doesn't make the pin because Rodriguez has to do an elbow thing off the top first or something. It's so we count pins when we feel like it now, when that was clearly a pin. That threw me off right there when that happened.
It's all.
But again, this match was a mess.
Yeah, I mean it's a 6-woman 1 fall to a finish match with a bunch of green people that really don't know what they're doing. One of them literally green, Shotzi. Natty and Shayna can't do all the work in there. I mean, look at all these young, inexperienced wrestlers that they had to work with tonight.
Probably should have made this a tag, I think.
Raquel, Aaliyah, Xia Li, Shotzi. I mean, these are not your most experienced wrestlers. Thankfully, they gave the title shot to Natty and not Shotzi or something.
I'm looking forward to that match. Her and Ronda, that could be really good.
Yep. I'm a big fan of Natty and Ronda, so I think it'll be great. I love Natty. I don't know when the match will be, but I'm sure it'll be good. All right, back
AJ
to...
thought you meant Beefy.
Who, Beefy? No. AJ, come on. Be cool. Be a nice man. Be a gentleman, AJ. Bobby Lashley takes on Omos and MVP in a 2-on-1 handicap match. I think Bobby still wins. I think he pins MVP. Omos gets, speared through a barricade, and MVP takes the fall. Bobby up.
Something like that. I thought that was just a horrible ending to Raw. I don't know what you thought, but that ends Monday Night Raw. I was just I'm glad it's over because this was just bad. That last hour was so horrible.
Yeah, Raw's quite bad. It's really hard to sit through.
It has good moments though, which is too bad. It probably has some of the best moments of the week sometimes, but it's just too long and there's too many bad moments.
I can't lie to you. I've been skipping through a lot of Raw. I
don't blame you.
I haven't had the patience to just watch everything. I've been skipping through a lot of stuff because it's just come on. I've seen this already. Oh, Liv Morgan's wrestling Rhea Ripley. Skip. I don't need that. I don't need that in my life. I don't need Omos and MVP and the promos with Lashley. Who cares? Is anybody invested in this? Does anybody care about Bobby Lashley's run here against Omos? Is anyone invested in this? I have not heard anyone say, man, this is some great shit between Omos and Bobby Lashley. Can't wait for the next match. What a story. What a great story they're telling. It's trash. It's basic. It's a 2-on-1 handicap match on pay-per-view. Get the fuck. You got Bobby up or what?
Oh, yeah. Definitely Bobby for the win. I thought it was weird, though, the little brawl they had where Bobby, pulled the table across and it's let's beat up every little thing. Don't touch each other. Beat up the security guys first. Throw the chairs around. And then once everything's out of the way, then we'll touch each other. But that's it. It was just kind of a weird way of doing it, but I guess that was a way of making this contract sign unique compared to other ones, I guess. I mean, usually you go right at each other. This is another thing, too. When you start Monday Night Raw and everyone's just right in each other's face, doing a promo to each other, and it's yeah, of course Becky's going to punch you in the face. That just makes sense. Same thing with the contract signings. I don't know why you put up with you don't just go for the punch to the face right away.
Omos clearly didn't grow up watching wrestling.
Right.
You know what I mean? He's got no wrestling sense. He's clearly not a fan of the business because when he's out there, he looks like he's not sure what to do next. Omos is like a male Eva Marie at this point. He's there because of his look, but he's not really into the business. He wants to make money in the business, but I don't know how he's taking to it. I don't know if Omos is sitting up at night, watching old matches and trying to get ideas. I don't think he's doing that. I don't think he's that invested. Because if he was, he'd be better by now. The time is running out on Omos. Like, my patience with this guy and my willingness to be like, well, he's a giant, eventually, maybe something. How long do we sit through it until we realize, oh, yeah, maybe not? Maybe he's just like a shitty Kali. I don't know if there's anything there with this guy. Honestly. The more I watch him, the more I think, I don't think he cares. I don't think he really likes this. I don't think he's going to be long for this WWE universe. I think he'll be gone soon because it's not working. It's an experiment that's failing. It's failing every week on Raw. I can't imagine he likes wrestling. I look at him and I think, he's in this for the money. He's going through the motions. He's not improving. Has he improved at all in any way? Promos, facial expressions, in ring. I don't think he's got one iota better in the past 6 months. Fire him. He's useless. He's taking up TV time. He's taking up space, a lot of space. He's gigantic. But no one cares. He's a tune-out. And at this point, the experiment has lasted long enough. It's not working. Cut him loose. Put Bobby over. Disappear Omos forever. Future endeavor. Sorry, Omos. I was, a proponent of his, but the more you watch, the more you realize, I don't think he's really trying.
I think it helps to have MVP with him, though. Like, MVP makes him seem like more of a threat because MVP can cut a really good promo. So, you kind of get interested in what's happening because of that. So, I'd give it a chance after the Bobby feud to see what can happen. And MVP helped build Bobby to the championship, so he's done miracles in the past.
It wasn't great. It wasn't a great build-up.
There were some good moments. There were some really good moments. He was the right guy to beat Drew.
Ugh. I'm so glad Roman is a double champ now. We don't have to sit through Bobby or Drew as champions. God, that was awful. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. Such B-level champions. Just mid talents. Look like $1 million. As soon as the entrance is done, there's goddamn nothing there. Bobby and Drew both, nothing there. They look amazing. When you see them walking around, you're like, God damn, look at that guy. But when you watch their matches, you fall asleep. When you hear them talk, you're like, do you know how to speak? Like, what's happening with you? What's going on? Why do you talk like that? That's not just Drew's weird accent, It's like just... No, Drew's accent's fine. The Scottish accent's fine. He just, is very bland. He's boring, and so is Bobby. They're boring. They speak with no emotion. They're monotone charisma vacuums. Nothing. Like, they're fine. They look the part. They're okay in the ring. But they're not very good. They're just there. They're mid. Solid B+.
Well, I feel with Bobby, it's not, he shouldn't be talking so much. It should be more about the action with him, you know? That's what he's got to do. I find that's what like gets him over the most is the fact that he can go in there and just like a wave of intensity. That's the best Bobby Lashley. Unfortunately, we don't see it enough, I find. That's the problem. But he's definitely winning on Sunday, I think.
I hope so. What's with the entrance? He like comes out on a pedestal. It's like a very like, hey, I'm the masterpiece. I'm the masterpiece. I'm Lex Luger. I'm flexing. But that's like a heel thing, isn't it? It's weird.
Well, it was kind of part of what he did before. But whatever. Like, you know, he's amazing. You got to showcase that. I agree with it.
People don't love him. He's not a very popular babyface.
There's better baby faces, there's no question. But again, like Bobby, when he goes in there and he's just a ball of rage, like that's the best. He needs to do that more often.
Speaking of balls of rage, Kevin Owens is going to wrestle Ezekiel. I think Ezekiel's a babyface in this, but I really dislike Ezekiel and I like Kevin Owens, so I don't know about that. I think this match will be, as good as Kevin can make it. This whole Ezekiel Elias thing is not my favorite thing. This dumb shit where it's like, hey, I shaved my beard and I've been gone for a while. No, I'm not Elias. I'm Ezekiel, Elias's younger brother. All right. And that's it. That's the whole story. It's been going on for a while. Kevin Owens is really mad about it for some reason. And now he's going to wrestle Ezekiel or Elias, but I guess Ezekiel. I don't care about this at all. Poor Kevin Owens having to deal with this garbage. More garbage at Hell in a Cell. I got to Ezekiel winning, though, to further frustrate Kevin Owens and wrestling fans around the world.
Well, I could see Kevin win because I feel like this kind of goes back and forth a bit, but because it's Ezekiel's first pay-per-view, I don't believe he wrestled at WrestleMania Backlash. So, yeah, I think they'll probably give it to him.
Theory, Austin Theory, the theoretical man defending the U.S. title. A U.S. title defense here on pay-per-view against Mustafa Ali. Huh?
A title match.
I know.
All the championships, and we rarely have title matches.
Yeah, a U.S. championship defense. Theory versus Ali. I think Theory retains. I don't think Ali beats him whatsoever. And we continue the streak of pay-per-views. I don't know how many it's been now, but it's like 6, 7, 8, maybe 9, 10 in a row at this point where the Intercontinental title has not been defended. Rick O'Shea is the Intercontinental champion, not even on SmackDown tonight because no one cares.
That's too bad. Sad, but yeah, it's the lowest championship right now.
I think Shanky was dancing with his girlfriend on TV tonight, too.
Is the ring announcer his girlfriend?
I think so.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, I think the ring announcer is, Samantha Irvin, right? She's the ring announcer. As Ricochet's girlfriend. So Ricochet...
Oh, it's Ricochet's girlfriend. Okay.
Yeah. Who do you think I said? Shanky?
I thought you said Shanky.
No. No. Ricochet's the Intercontinental Champion. He's not on the show. He never defends the title. He's a non-entity. Shanky, his gimmick is that he's with Jinder, but Jinder hates when he dances. Even though Shanky's dancing caused a distraction for Jinder to win the match against Umberto tonight. And then after the match, Shanky went to dance with the ring announcer, and she was into it and dancing too. That ring announcer is Ricochet's girlfriend. Or Ricochet is her boyfriend. However you want to put it.
Right.
But they are in a relationship. Samantha Irvin, the ring announcer, and Rick O'Shea are a real-life couple. But Shanky doing the dancing on Samantha Irvin tonight on SmackDown. Which, whatever. It's a story. just to say Ricochet gets no respect because he's not even on the show. His girlfriend gets more TV time. She's a ring announcer, and he's the Intercontinental Champion. That's really the point, is what I'm trying to make here, is that his girlfriend, who's the ring announcer, got more of a shine on TV tonight than Ricochet, who's the Intercontinental Champion. But oh well, Theory defending against Mustafa Ali for the U.S. title. Theory up, right? Come on. Let's be real. How about Finn Balor, AJ Styles, and their partner, Liv Morgan, against the Judgment Day, Edge, Damian Priest, and Rhea Ripley. A 6-person mixed tag match, or just a 6-person tag match. If we're talking about genders, forget about it. No more genders, all right? 6-person tag. It's a six-man tag, six-person tag. 6 humans in a match. We're going to stop calling them persons at some point. It's going to be just humans. Anyways, I think that the Judgment Day wins. Edge, Damian, and Rhea, they probably win because they're like a real team. And the other team is Finn and AJ with Liv. Like, she's not really part of the team. She's not in the Bullet Club. I think Edge's team wins. Another match I don't care about.
Yeah, I got the House of Edge, too. I think we're going to be all the same on this.
Did we pick every match the same? I think we did.
So far. That's it?
No, that's it.
Well, it just seems likely it's going in one direction with a lot of these matches.
Let me just recap for you, John, just to make sure that we have all the predictions the same. Cody versus Seth, we both have Cody up, right? Cody winning.
Yep.
Bianca Belair defending the Raw title in a triple threat against Asuka and Becky Lynch. We both have Bianca winning, right?
Yep.
Bobby versus Omos and MVP. We've got Bobby up. Ezekiel versus Kevin Owens. We've got Ezekiel winning. Theory versus Mustafa. We've got Theory winning. Finn, AJ, and Liv versus the Judgment Day. We've got the Judgment Day winning. And Madcap versus Corbin. We've got Madcap winning. We have picked every single match the same. And I bet you that we'll be right. Like, I would be really surprised if the matches went the other way in any way.
The only one I could think of is maybe with Kevin. They might go with Kevin, but that's about it.
It would be nice to see Kevin get a win, but, like, really? I really doubt it, right? Ezekiel's first pay-per-view match.
That's the thing. That's the one thing that's like, yeah.
And that's Hell in a Cell. Cody versus Seth, the one Hell in a Cell match. It'll probably be the main event. No Roman Reigns on this show.
It's Hell in a Cell. It should be the main event.
Yeah. I mean, world title's not being defended. I think there's an argument you could make for Bianca, Asuka, and Becky to main event because it is, one of the main championships. 3 big stars, maybe, but pay-per-view's called Hell in a Cell. There's one Hell in a Cell match. It's Cody and Seth. Probably main events. Can't see why not.
The 3-way might open the show.
Yeah. Good way to start the show. In Chicago, too, at the Allstate Arena. This is the pay-per-view they bring to Chicago. Yeesh. Not a great offering here. I wonder if
Cody's... Will Cody get cheered? I wonder.
I think he will. WWE fans love him.
WWE can always, alter it, so of course he's cheered. It doesn't matter if they're booing or not.
Yeah. Well, that's the other thing with modern WWE post-Thunderdome era. They edit the crowd sound so much that you barely exist as a crowd, Like, what you say in the crowd, the noise that the crowd makes, doesn't really matter because the WWE is going to drown you out if you're not doing what they want you to do. Which really sucks, Used to go to a WWE show and you could kind of influence the creative direction. You could kind of tell them what you were feeling and they would adjust. But now, it doesn't matter. You go, the whole crowd could be booing a babyface, but everybody watching on TV will hear the cheers because they'll pipe him in, they'll cut out the boos, and no one will know. So really, when you're buying a ticket, you're not part of the show. You used to be part of the show. Now you're just a backdrop. You're the live studio audience, and you're there to tell them what to, to do what they tell you to do, or, they'll cut you off. They'll edit you out to get the reactions that they want. What a fake wrestling company. It's like, wrestling's already fake. WWE is like a faker version of it. Oh, it's sad. I wish they didn't do that sound editing stuff for the crowd. Because part of the fun is hearing how the crowd reacts. And when the crowd just reacts kind of how WWE pipes them in, how they want them to react, it's not that interesting. Makes a show more bland, more cookie cutter, more overproduced. Not too good. But this show's been fantastic, if I do say so myself. I mean, I've been on it. John's been on it for the most part. I managed to keep the show going when John's internet died. I'm going to give myself the old Barry Horowitz, baby. I deserve it. I'm patting myself on the back, John.
I think we made up to everybody because we had a longer show tonight. So
yeah,
I think everyone got their Johnny Northworth, I think.
That's right. We had a supersized edition of Wrestling Uncensored, and I know I'm not doing as many shows on Mondays and Wednesdays as I used to. But, like I said, life changes, and I've got 2 kids now, and I've got to be up way, way earlier in the morning than I used to be. Way earlier.
Yeah, they look like they're a lot of work, so.
Yeah. I told Fred, I saw Fred yesterday. I go, Fred, how come you didn't warn me? He goes, what? What? What are you talking about? I'm like, 2 kids. You have 2 kids. You never warned me. It never ends. It never ends. All you guys with 1 kid. I know it's hard and everything is challenging. But 2? I couldn't imagine having more than 2. How do you do it? I mean, okay, she's like almost 2 months old. She's still a little baby, and my son is almost 5. Like, they're young, so it's going to be challenging. But holy shit. It never stops, man. There's always something. When you got 1 kid taken care of, well, there's another kid that needs something. One's crying, calm it down. The other one starts, Lauren has 4 kids. Holy shit. Do you drink, Lauren? Do you have nannies? Do you have a staff of nannies? Like, how do you... 4 kids? How old are your kids?
Did he space them out better?
How old are your kids? Give me the ages. That's what I want to know right now. How old? Weed. Yeah, weed helps. I'll tell you, weed helps, Lauren. You're not lying, brother. After everybody's in bed and daddy gets to smoke a little joint, it's like, like the fucking heavens open up. It's a beautiful time. Thank God. How old are your kids, Lauren? That's insane. 4 kids? 14, 14, 18, and 20. Well, you're mostly out of the woods, I think, for the real bad stuff, but I don't know. 14 and 14, it sounds like twins.
Someone had twins.
Oh, my God. This guy had 2 kids, and then he had twins to round it all off. Jesus.
Within the span of, 4 years-ish.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God, Lauren. You put yourself through the ringer, brother. You and Mrs. Lauren, Oh, my God. 4. That just scares me. I'm frightened just the idea. If I have 3 kids, if I have another kid, oh, my God, something's gone wrong. Something's gone wrong. Little kids, little problems. Big kids, big problems. Oh, shit. Don't tell me about that. I don't want to hear that. Do you get more sleep at least? Can you sleep?
Probably more weed, I'm guessing.
With the older kids because of the bigger problems?
That's a guess.
I don't know
Make sure they don't take your weed.
Yeah. Less sleep? How do you got less sleep? I thought when they get older, they kind of leave you alone. You have a 20-year-old kid. Aren't they adults at that point? Don't they kind of want to do their own thing and they don't really want to? Like, for me, it's like, Daddy, 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 Daddy. I want to play. Can we play? we play video games? Daddy, come set up the... Daddy, play wrestling with me. Daddy, wrestle. Daddy, Daddy, Daddy. And that's the one that talks. The other one is just like, eh. And I'm like, what the fuck? You know?
I hope this chapter is just like the Simon kids, the aftermath.
But I love them so much. I really do. They're amazing. You know, like, it's challenging. It's hard. I want to make it positive because one day they might watch this, you know, and be like, what the fuck, Dad, you know? No, I really, like, I love them. I'm so thrilled to have my daughter with me. She's amazing. She's so beautiful. She started smiling at me. You know, she started recognizing me and looking at me. And when she smiles, that big smile in the morning right at me because I know that she recognizes Daddy and she loves me, it's like, it's incredible. The feeling is so great. She's so beautiful. She is a blessing. I'm so lucky to have them. I'm so lucky to have them. I'm so lucky to have two happy, healthy, smart, beautiful, strong children. I love them so much. They're my whole world. They're my whole world. And that's why I'm not doing shows on Mondays and Wednesdays these days, because I got to be Daddy. Daddy's more important, you know? But I'm here for you on a Friday night because I got I don't have to wake up early tomorrow. And if my son wakes up before me, well, go see your mother. Leave me alone. I'm sleeping in Saturday. Then when I wake up,
quite a horror story.
Then when I wake up, it's like, all right, and now business picks up, you know. Then I gotta. Lauren says he had to bring his eldest the extra keys to her car when she locked them in her trunk up north at Lake Superior. Rough. Oh my God. Picking them up at 2 a.m. drunk downtown. Well, I'm not going to allow my kids to drink. And if they're drunk downtown at 2 a.m., I'm going to say, well, fucking figure it out. You got yourself down there. Get yourself home. I'm not picking you up. Especially my son. If I had maybe a daughter, I would go pick her up. But my son, it's like, dude, fend for yourself. But both of my kids are going to be straight savages. They're going to be jiu-jitsu aces. They'll be all right. You're going to be beating people up. I mean, hopefully not beating people up, but, you know what I mean. I'm not going to be worried about them being out late at night, but Lauren, tell them to just get themselves home at 2 a.m. I'm not going to pick anybody up at 2 a.m. if they're drunk. I'm too high at 2 a.m. to go pick anybody up. You're drunk? Well, I'm baked. All right, leave me alone. Oh. Yeah, that's what I say now. I don't know how it's going to be when I'm confronted with these issues. But I don't drink at all. My kid's mother does not drink. I don't think my kids will drink. I mean, knock on wood, I really hope they don't drink. I'm not like an alcohol guy. Nobody in my family is really an alcohol person. We don't drink, so I'm hoping that they don't drink alcohol. And if they want to smoke weed, well, they have to wait until they're, 18 or 21 or whatever it is. I'm not letting my kids do shit. All right? Oh, you want to do something? Go to the gym. Go do jiu-jitsu. Get the fuck out of my face. That's what I'm going to tell them. All right? When they're old enough for me to swear at them. Right now, I can't swear at them. They're too young. But once they turn, 14, 15, I'm going to swear at them. Yeah, Lauren doesn't drink either. But your kids are drinking? Oh, that would piss me off. I hope it's not the 14-year-olds. I don't think it is, Lauren. I'm joking. I'm joking. Yeah. I'm not dealing with drunk children. I'm not dealing with drunk children. You're drunk, you figure it out. You get fucked up, you figure it out. And if you get some cool drugs, you better give Daddy some too. Because, Daddy likes to party. Not with alcohol, but drugs are I don't know what I can say on YouTube. Let's just say I think they're cool. But they're bad. You shouldn't do them. I'm not talking about cocaine or heroin or something like that, or even ecstasy. I'm talking about, mushrooms or LSD or something. If they get that, you hook daddy up. It's my retirement plan. I don't know if I've said that to you, John, but once I turn 65 and I retire, I'm just going to do LSD until I die. It's my goal. 65th birthday, all I want from everybody. I'm going to have a big party, and I want gifts. And what I want is as much LSD as you could find. Then you give it to me so that I can hoard LSD. I want a huge stash of LSD that I get for my 65th birthday party. I retire, and then I just do LSD until I die. And I'll have no idea what happens the rest of the life. It's going to be great. I can't wait to trip my balls off in retirement. That's going to be how I retire. I'm going to retire on acid. It's my dream. It's my plan. Join me, John. It'll be fun.
Well, by then, you'll have an army of kids, so they'll be able to help you out if any problems by then.
I might have grandkids by then, right?
There you go.
By the time I'm 65, my son will be the same age I am now. So, you might have kids.
It'll go fast.
Yeah, right?
I mean, he's almost 5, so yeah, it's going fast.
I know. We visited kindergarten yesterday. He's starting kindergarten in September or end of August. We went to see his new school yesterday. It's crazy how fast it goes.
Nice private school. It'll be a nice uniform.
No. I'm not going to say what school he's going to, but he's going to a public school.
John Cena went to private school. And that turned out okay for him.
Well, so?
I'm just saying, you want to be like Cena, no?
What? No, I don't want my kids to be like John Cena. What are you talking about? Robots? Robot people with no emotion or feeling? I don't think so.
You got to sign a contract for a relationship? You want kids like that? No?
No.
Oh.
I don't. I want children, regular, normal, Whatever Bryan Danielson did, I want them to be like that. Or, whatever Brock Lesnar and Ronda Rousey did, do that, That's what I want. Follow in Brock's footsteps. Cool. Although I don't have a farm, so I think they're kind of shit out of luck there. One of the reasons why Brock is because he grew up, throwing hay around on a farm in North Dakota. That's how he grew up, and, my kids aren't going to have farm strength because I don't have a farm. I live in the city.
Brock's got a lot of kids, too, doesn't he?
I don't know. It's unclear how many kids he has. He's got 1 or 2 with Sable, but he's got 1 or 2 from before, too, right?
I believe so.
I don't know. Who knows? All right, what the hell are we talking about? That's enough. We're back Sunday night, John. Why are we still talking? We've been on for over 2 hours, almost 2.5 hours here. We'll be back Sunday. Rest your voice, John. Save your energy here. I got to save my energy. I got to pace myself, brother. I got to wake up early tomorrow, go, place some bets. We got some UFC action taking place. Maybe I'll place my bets right now after the show. Because we got the UFC, Volkov versus Jairzinho. First prelim fight is at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Main card at 4 p.m. tomorrow. So if you're a UFC fan, it starts early, an afternoon show from Vegas tomorrow night. Check out our picks on the latest episode of Ringside Report MMA. And join us Sunday night after Hell in a Cell. And we'll recap the action. Should be fun. Shout out to Doug Hepburn. You're the Super Chat leader of the night. Appreciate you. DLC wants to know what my bets are. Go watch Ringside Report MMA, DLC. I'm not recapping all my bets from last night. I don't even know at this point. Go back, watch Ringside Report MMA from last night, and you'll see all my bets. Thank you, Lauren. Big respect to Lauren, who has 4 children. Amazing. I assume your twins were a mistake, because I don't know who the hell would want to have more than 2 kids. I'm joking. But
Well,
like,
whoever plans to have twins, I mean, twins just kind of happen, right? Like,
yeah. He probably wanted 3, and then 4 happened. He's like, oh well, here comes 4. Well, good for you, Lauren. 4 kids is crazy. It's amazing. I don't know how you do it. 2 is a lot. I'm loving it, but it is a challenge, and it is fun, and it is exhausting, it is difficult, and it's great. It's amazing, and it's shocking all at the same time. It's a lot of things, a lot of emotions. Shout out Ray Cruz, member of the team. Shout out to Doug Hepburn, member of the
AJ.
team, leader of the Super Chat Pack. Anthony McDonough, member of the team. Shout out to Anthony out in Cancun. Enjoy your vacation, my friend. Thank you to all the members. Digital Art Coding. Shout out to Jason Pete out in Mexico as well. A lot of people in Mexico tonight. Jason, Anthony. Appreciate all the members here joining us and supporting the Ringside Report Network. Harold Schneider. Thank you, Harold. Dropping a super chat. Member of the team. Thank you, everybody, for being members, for renewing your membership, for remaining members of the Ringside Report Network. We appreciate you. And please, if you're not a member already, click that join button beneath me here on YouTube or go to join.ringsidereport.net. $5 a month. You sign up. You become a member of the team. Your name shows up in green. You could call into the show whenever you want. Talk to us. But you have to be a member of the Ringside Report Network. So join.ringsidereport.net. Doug Hepburn, you're the Super Chat leader of the night. Thank you, my friend. And I will be back here with my brother and with Johnny on Sunday after Hell in a Cell. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you again Sunday night here on the Ringside Report Network.
Please join in and give your support to Ringside Report Network. We've been providing expert coverage and commentary on both pro wrestling and MMA for over 15 years. Go to ringsidereport.net/support to find out more ways to support the channel.